Honorable members, the Clerk of the National Assembly, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'm deeply honored by the confidence you've bestowed upon me by electing me to serve as your Speaker in the 12th Parliament. I am boundlessly humbled by the trust and faith you bestowed upon me. I resound the ones of the 1964 Nobel Peace Prize winner, the late Dr. Martin Luther King, and I quote, "I come as a trustee, for in the depths of my heart, I'm aware that this election is much more than an honor to me personally." Close the quotes. As I uphold my unreserved commitment and enthusiasm to serve you as Speaker, I solemnly affirm that I will perform my functions in this august House with the diligence, dignity, and honor. I undertake to discharge my duties with a high degree of efficiency and impartiality, and will, to the best of my ability, respect, uphold, and defend the people's constitutional sovereignty assigned to this House. I submit myself to the will of this House and assure you that I will, as usual, strive to be accessible to every member in this House and ensure that we work together for the well-being of a great nation. Honorable members, you will agree with me that it has been a long day today. At the beginning of this second part of the sitting, the Clerk of the National Assembly did enumerate a list of 23 other exceptionally outstanding citizens who expressed interest in becoming the Speaker of the National Assembly in this 12th term. I would like to recognize Dr. Winja Migundo, who qualified as a candidate and made it all the way to the ballot paper. To my first constituency, my family, I thank you for sharing my dream. Your support through the years has been invaluable, and I consider myself absolutely fortunate. Honourable members, allow me to also congratulate you individually and collectively for your recent election victories. The positions we now occupy are not only a great honor and privilege, but they are a demonstration of the immense trust that the citizens of this republic have bestowed upon us. Looking around, I can see many familiar faces, peers, past and present colleagues. It's gratifying to see so many familiar faces. I'm happy to note that more than 150 of you honourable members have been re-elected for a further term. The list tabled by the clerk also indicates that 32 members will now be serving their third, fourth, and fifth terms. This is an endorsement of the confidence your electorate have in you. Allow me to particularly recognize and acknowledge the Honourable Member for Kitutu Church and North Constituency, the Honourable JB Muturi, who now serves as the senior-most member in this House as he commences his fifth term in this august House. In parliamentary parlance, he becomes what we call the father of the House. Most of you who haven't gone through the elections process will not agree with me that his is not an average achievement. I commend you, Mheshimiwa. The National Assembly in the 12th Parliament now has 76 female members of Parliament as compared to 68 in the last Parliament. On this note, allow me, honourable members, to single out the member for Tafeta constituency, the Honourable Dr. Naomi Shaban, who now becomes the longest-serving female member in the House as she commences our fourth term today. I say Kongole Mheshimiwa Daktari. Given the nature of our competitive politics, you have earned more than our deepest respect. To the veterans who have returned to this house, August House, the Honorable Amos Kimunya, Honorable Maoka Maure, the Honorable Jane Kihara, the Honorable Jeremiah Kioni, the Honorable Charles Kilonzo, the Honorable Fred Kapondi, the Honorable Gesito Mugali, the Honorable Peter Mwadi, the Honorable Nur Sophia Abdi, Honorable John Oyoka, the Honorable Joshua Kutunyi, and the Honorable Rafael Wajala. Karibuni. I also congratulate the new members of this House who previously served as senators in the 11th Parliament. This House will certainly have the privilege of learning from their previous experience in the other House. Honourable members, it is my pleasure to extend a cheerful and gracious, inclusive welcome to the 180 newly elected honourable members. I observe that in tandem with our constitutional vision, the number of women, youth, persons with disabilities has increased, and we are truly reaping the promise and value of inclusivity. Similarly, I note that this House has the largest number of independent candidates elected in our parliamentary history. I commend them. While the role of parliamentary parties in exercising the oversight role cannot be overstated, the now newly revised standing orders of 2017 recognize and indeed embrace independent members in the committee system of this House. Honourable members, as you may be aware, the committees of this House play an important role. As a matter of fact, they normally say in the United States of America that Congress in committee is the House at work. Those of you who are in the 11th Parliament will recall the converse of Parliament in plenary. In our case, the House committees will give all of you an opportunity to serve the people you represent. Under the National Assembly standing orders, the committees have their mandates reconstituted, the membership reduced, and a process for the discharge of members entrenched with a view to enhancing efficiency and due process as well. A special fund accounts committee has been established to examine audited accounts for specific public institutions to relieve the pressure that hitherto lay with the Public Accounts Committee and Public Investments Committee. Likewise, the Members' Services and Facilities Committee has been established to provide a forum for members of this House to raise concerns on the facilities and services available to them and offering recommendations to the House to improve such facilities and services. As you actualize your oversight role, I urge you to serve in these committees with utmost dignity, integrity, dedication, and impartiality. Committees are not a place to settle political party differences or ideologies. Honourable members, the people of Kenya have assigned to us a huge responsibility. We must safeguard public trust by conducting ourselves with integrity and in a manner that brings honor and dignity to the nation. The Constitution, the Public Officer Ethics Act, the Leadership and Integrity Act, and the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act of 2017 will all reinforce the essential value of integrity, a most valuable asset in public service. Of great importance, honourable members, is the need to observe that the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, which is recently enacted, prescribes a code of conduct for members of Parliament. The purpose of the code is to create public trust and confidence in members of Parliament and to protect the integrity of Parliament. Honourable members, indeed upon taking oath, we all undertook to abide by the code, and this should be our point of reference in discharging our respective duties and responsibilities. Honourable members, further we communally have a huge responsibility to serve all Kenyans and to continuously seek to address their aspirations. We are called upon to exercise the sovereign power of the people through legislation, representation, oversight of state officers and state organs, and the deliberation of the various issues of concern to the people of this great nation. Indeed, this is to all of us what is provided for in Article 95, Clause 1 of the Constitution. In undertaking these noble responsibilities, we must be guided by the values of good governance, democracy, patriotism, national unity, inclusivity, as well as the broad spectrum of the national values and principles of governance enshrined in our Constitution, and more particularly in Article 10. As political leaders, we must dedicate ourselves to serve the national interest and advance the common good. Adversarial politics only serves to undermine public confidence in our institutions. Let us not be sworn to antagonism, but let us promote, embrace, enhance, and commit to serve the public in the spirit of integration and reconciliation. The priority of this House is to consolidate the achievements enshrined in our Constitution and to seek progress, mindful of the ones of the great British citizens, Winston Churchill, who emphasized that, and I quote, "If we open a quarrel between the past and the present, we shall find that we have lost the future." Close the quotes. In this regard, honourable members, I encourage this House to embrace collegiality, fellowship, mutual and reciprocal respect when conducting all its proceedings. Let us be the agents that promote the unity and advancement of this indivisible nation. Let us undertake our responsibilities in a dynamic and proactive manner, and for the sake of the great people of Kenya, let the words of the 28th President of the United States, Woodrow Wilson, continuously echo in our minds, and I quote, "You are not here merely to make a living. You are here to enrich the world and to impoverish yourself if you forget the errand." Close the quotes. In this regard, it is my view that this House should seek to consolidate the gains made by its predecessor, the 11th Parliament. Looking back, the 11th Parliament executed its roles with great success. It passed a total of 180 bills, which have since become laws, considered 124 petitions and various motions, and additionally, the 11th Parliament will be remembered for having considered and approved amendments to the National Assembly standing orders, which have created the new committees that I've mentioned. The import of these amendments was to, among other things, reconstitute committees, realign their mandates, engender effective member participation, and promote efficiency in them. To put it candidly, the 11th Parliament nursed and weaned an infant which has now grown into a blossoming bicameral legislature. The 12th Parliament now has the responsibility of nurturing this infant. This, honourable members, will be achieved through continuous review of the various existing legislations to align them with the tenets of our constitutional dispensation and the promotion of effective public participation, one of the fundamental pillars of our Constitution in Article 118 and Article 10. Simply put, public participation is a link between you and the people you represent. Honourable members, although these are some of the tasks that lie ahead, you will only know the depth of a river by immersing yourself into it, swimming through it, and if circumstances demand, diving into the riverbed and examining what lies beneath. What I'm trying to say, honourable members, is that our task as members will continue to unravel as we commence the journey of resolving the issues of concern to the people we represent. What should be our driving force is the need to recognize, and although the task ahead is enormous, it provides an opportunity for this House to participate in molding essential governance institutions and strengthening our democratic processes. Honourable members, may we live to fulfill a legacy that consolidates our democratic gains and brings transformation as we launch this country towards a trajectory of steady economic growth, social and political development. Honourable members, in the life of the 12th Parliament, I undertake to implement a paperless system in the House. The Parliamentary Service Commission is in the process of implementing various information and communication technology platforms to support this system. I therefore encourage members to equip themselves with the necessary tools that will assist them utilize these facilities. I also undertake to work with all governance institutions, including our sister house, the Senate, the judiciary, the executive, on the basis of cooperation, consultation, mutual respect, and reciprocity. Additionally, I also undertake to foster a relationship with the East African Legislative Assembly, the Pan-African Parliament, the Caribbean and Pacific European Union Joint Parliamentary Assembly, and other regional integration bodies. Honourable members, Article 127, Clause 6 of the Constitution obliges the Parliamentary Service Commission to provide services and facilities to ensure the efficient functions of Parliament. In this respect, the Commission is in the process of completing the new office block for members of Parliament, which is expected to be ready by end of next year. The new office block will have 20 committee meeting rooms, 338 executive offices, and over 400 parking spaces. This will go a long way towards ensuring that you execute your duties and responsibilities with efficiency and effectively. Honourable members, we are all aware of the existing political stagnation in the nomination of members to the East African Legislative Assembly. I call upon the political leadership to rise above the clouds and bring a speedy solution and conclusion to this matter. Honourable members, I'm proud to preside in the one institution that manifests the diversity of this nation, represents the will of the people, and exercises their sovereignty. Let our diversity enhance and enrich all our deliberations. As your Speaker, I will protectively and faithfully uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act, and our own standing orders. I look forward to working with all of you in discharging our respective mandates. Together, we can make our country proud. As I conclude, honourable members, I wish to inform you that the Parliamentary Service Commission has organized an induction retreat for all members of the National Assembly. Members will be apprised on the legislative making processes, including but not limited to the introduction of bills and motions, the budget making processes, the committee system, the rules of debate, and the various aspects of parliamentary powers and privileges. I encourage you all to dutifully attend the sessions, even if it is not your first time to be inducted, like of course the Honorable Jimmy Angwenyi. This is a suitable opportunity for interaction and experiential sharing between the members, both old and new. Finally, honourable members, I wish to commend the Clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Michael Sialai, a long-standing parliamentary officer, and all the staff of Parliament for the manner in which they have conducted this process, including the pre-swearing-in sessions carried out on Tuesday and Wednesday. I request you to continue facilitating the honourable members with this elevated degree of proficiency, professionalism, and impartiality. Asanteni sana. God bless the Parliament of Kenya and the people of this great nation. Thank you, honourable members. She had come out. Yeah. Maybe you also need to thank them now. And as you ask me to go next one, well, honourable members, before I call on the clerk to take us through the next order, permit me to recognize and appreciate all members of the public that have traveled from the breadth and width of this country to come and witness this rare occasion that happens only once in 5 years. Asanteni sana kwa kuja kuhakikisha na kuona waheshimiwa wakiapishwa ndio waanze kazi rasmi. Thank you very much. Clerk, next order.